How do they make money? Well, once you get past the M&A, the operating model is clean and it's kind of beautiful. So revenue is overwhelmingly subscriptions and acquisition is overwhelmingly organic, and that is acquisition of customers. So customers acquired through organic channels, word of mouth, non-paid search, accounted for 79% of revenue from new customers in 2025. They deliberately favor targets that don't lean on paid advertising. Why? Because ad-driven acquisition is volatile and they want revenue they can forecast. When you buy a brand like Evernote or AOL, the demand walks in the door for free out of 2 decades of habit. Cost of revenue is mostly 3 things. You got amortization of acquired intangibles, you got cloud infrastructure, which is AWS and Google Cloud, and the tolls they pay to get paid. This part's really important. This is the App Store tax. So in Q1 of 2026, 75% of revenue came through electronic payments, and a third of that ran through the Apple App Store or Google Play, where Apple and Google retain 15 to 30% of the transaction. By contrast, Adyen, PayPal, and Stripe charge 5% or less, and a wire transfer costs them like nothing. The filing more or less shrugs, and it admits that customers convert better when the App Store is the default, so hey, we'll keep on paying that toll. Which raises the question I'd want answered on the roadshow. So as Bending Spoon scales to 1 billion users, can it use that buying power to negotiate the App Store and processing fees down? That's real money if you can do it. A few points off a 15% to 30% take rate across a growing subscription base is its own profit lever, and it's not really talked about as loudly in the S1 as I'd expect. Improve that gross margin, get past that mid 60% point. And the reason they can pull this off across 10 unrelated apps is this stack of proprietary technology they deploy into every business they buy. So fun names incoming here, folks. Pico, Lumen, and Abacus, the shared data infrastructure processing 3.8 billion data points a day. Minerva, an AI model that estimates customer lifetime value in real time, feeding marketing and pricing. Juno, the payments and checkout systems, the thing that lets them rip out a new acquisitions billing stack and plug in their own optimized one. Janus and Orion, the experimentation toolkit running hundreds of concurrent A/B tests. So the moment they acquire a company, Juno gives them a better checkout. Minerva gives them better pricing, and the experimentation suite gives them 1,000 monetization tests they couldn't run before. While the companies are all standalone, yes, like you don't like try to cross-sell Evernote and Eventbrite, they do benefit from software infrastructure and monetization expertise that's been proven across the companies in the portfolio. Does this playbook actually work? I'm so glad you asked, CJ. Well, here's the question I most wanted answered in the S1. On a like-for-like basis, once a business has been inside Bending Spoons for a year or two, is it actually any better? Or does it just look better because they keep buying new toys? Well, Evernote is the cleanest evidence that the playbook is legit. They acquired it in January of 2023. They cut the team from 341 people to 60, an 82% reduction in force. They flattened management from 4 layers to 2. They tore the monolithic code base into microservices and moved it to an event-driven model, which dropped IT infra expense as a percentage of revenue by 47% in 2025 versus 2022. Not bad. Grew product releases 50% in 2023, then doubled them in 2024 with a smaller team, grew revenue, improved profitability, and now posts the highest net revenue retention in the portfolio at 99%. So yeah, that worked. And then you got Ramini. It's the growth proof point. They were acquired in 2021 and rebuilt from scratch. And by 2025, it served more than 5x the monthly active users of its pre-acquisition self. It generated more than 9x the revenue and grew average revenue per user 50% even as the user base grew 5-fold. Oh, and they hit 6 viral spikes that the team engineered on purpose using their own marketing screening tools. Oh, AI. Forgot about AI. The engine under all of this is AI, and it cuts in 3 directions at once. So first, it's their sharpest tool for operating leverage because inside their own engineering org, the share of pull requests authored or co-authored by AI went from 10% in Q1 of 2025 to over 90% a year later, with roughly 70% written by AI alone. And revenue per spooner more than doubled from 1.12 million to 2.57 million in 2 years. So that's how 286 new hires run a portfolio of serving 8 billion people. Second, it decides whether the things they buy survive. Some of the portfolio gets supercharged by AI. Ramini is an AI app, and photo and video editing get more and more valuable as the models improve. But some of it sits directly in the blast radius. So note-taking now competes with ChatGPT and Notion. Tough comp set there. File transfer is a feature rather than a product. Third, and this is the clever part, AI is also their deal pipeline. Their pitch is that as more owners watch AI threaten their business and realize they can't keep up, more of them sell valuations come down, and the targets get cheaper. So the same force that threatens the assets they already own also kind of refills the shopping cart, which is funny. And that works as long as Betting Spoons is always the buyer and never the bot. If you never have to sell, you never have to catalyze a final price. In the meantime, the market will weigh you daily. So the playbook seems very real. I was underwhelmed by the revenue growth, but pleasantly surprised by the cost savings. And the open question isn't whether they can fix a business, it's whether the business they can buy will still exist in their current form in 5 years.
SaaS and AI spend is heating up, and most finance and procurement teams are already searching for shade. Uber burned through its entire 2026 AI budget in 4 months. ServiceNow did the exact same thing. Your vendors are counting on you to sweat through your next renewal and pay more than you should. Cool down your SaaS and AI spend this summer with SpendHound. Through June 12th, qualifying companies that sign up get $500 just for getting started. Teams using SpendHound reduce software and AI spend by up to 30%, using real pricing benchmarks from over 1,200 companies across 10,000 AI and SaaS vendors. So when your next renewal hits, you're not taking the heat. You know exactly what fair pricing looks like and what you should negotiate for. SpendHound also includes on-demand procurement experts who build negotiation strategies, review contracts, and ghostwrite emails on your behalf. That means you can stop getting burned by the tools you need and cut the ones that you don't before that auto-renewal torches your budget. Rated #1 on G2 in SaaS spend management, SpendHound is free forever for teams up to 1,000 employees and only $10,000 per year for enterprise teams, with $150,000 in savings guaranteed. Don't let your vendors enjoy your summer budget more than you do. Sign up by June 12th and get $500. How's that for a hot deal? Go to spendhound.com/CJ. That's spendhound.com/CJ.